In the vast golden plains of Kenya, the first light of dawn awakens more than just the birds. It stirs the restless energy of one of Africa's most cunning survivors, the baboon. To the untrained eye, baboons might seem like mischievous tricksters, loud, chaotic, and always squabbling. They leap between branches, steal fruits from trees, and even raid human farms when hunger drives them close enough. But behind their restless eyes lies something far more dangerous: intelligence. Unlike solitary predators, baboons are creatures of strategy. They live in tight-knit troops, sometimes numbering more than 100. Within these troops, hierarchy rules every interaction. Powerful males dominate the best feeding spots, while mothers fiercely guard their young. This social order gives baboons a critical advantage: coordination. And when hunger gnaws at them, that coordination turns deadly. Because baboons aren't just foragers. They are hunters. Hidden among the tall grasses, a group of baboons focuses their gaze on a small herd of impalas grazing nearby. The impalas, elegant and graceful, rely on speed and awareness to survive. But in this moment, one young impala strays too far from the herd. The troop reacts instantly. A few males rush forward, barking ferociously to scatter the adults. In the chaos, one baboon lunges with shocking power. His hands, built for climbing, are just as effective for gripping. Within seconds, the young impala's fate is sealed. It's a disturbing sight, one that defies the common image of baboons as mere fruit eaters. Their opportunism allows them to exploit every weakness in their environment. In times of drought, when plants wither and food grows scarce, baboons become bold predators. Small antelopes, young gazelles, even birds fall victim to their relentless hunger. And yet, despite their cunning and cruelty, baboons themselves are never safe. In Kenya's unforgiving wilderness, every predator risks becoming prey. Because just beyond the horizon, another hunter stirs, one that even the clever baboon cannot outwit forever. The savannah has many challengers, but only one predator wears the crown: the lion. Known as the kings of the jungle, lions aren't kings of jungles at all, they rule open grasslands. And in Kenya's vast reserves, their power is unmatched. But what makes lions so feared isn't just their size or strength. It's their relentless teamwork. Unlike most big cats, lions hunt as a family. A pride can number over a dozen individuals, mothers, daughters, and sisters working together, while the males protect the territory from intruders. Each member has a role. Some charge head-on, driving prey into chaos. Others circle wide, invisible until the moment they strike. And when hundreds of pounds of muscle crash into their target, escape becomes almost impossible. But here's what many don't realize: lions aren't the constant hunters they're made out to be. In fact, they spend up to 20 hours a day resting. The blazing African sun forces them into the shade, conserving energy until the perfect moment. This creates a paradox: the laziest predator is also the deadliest. And hunger is a powerful motivator. When the sun dips low and shadows stretch across the grass, lions awaken. Antelopes, zebras, and wildebeests know this is the hour of danger. One wrong move, one moment of hesitation, and the pride descends like a storm. Still, for all their strength, lions aren't invincible. A hunt can fail more often than it succeeds. A single kick from a zebra can break bones. A wildebeest's horns can impale. Even baboons, those smaller tricksters of the plains, have been known to fend off lion attacks with numbers and screams. But the lion's greatest enemies are not always their prey. They come from within their own kind. Rival males roam endlessly, seeking to overthrow the pride leader. These clashes are brutal, bone-crushing battles where defeat means exile, and exile often means death. Yet even after victory, the pride never truly rests. Because in the endless game of survival, no crown is worn forever. And while lions dominate the day, another hunter has mastered the night: silent, patient, and terrifyingly precise. When the last glow of daylight fades, the savannah belongs to another ruler. Not the roaring lion or the loud baboon, but a ghost of the wilderness, the leopard. Unlike lions, leopards are solitary. They don't rely on a pride or a troop. Instead, every survival decision rests on one pair of shoulders. This independence makes them cautious, calculating, and endlessly adaptable. To survive alone, they've become masters of stealth. A leopard moves like smoke. Silent paws barely bend the grass, each step deliberate. Its coat, dappled with rosettes, isn't just beautiful, it's camouflage perfected by evolution. Even in plain sight, the pattern melts into shadows, making the predator vanish before eyes can trace its outline. And then comes the strike. Leopards are ambush hunters, waiting motionless for the perfect opportunity. A monkey strays too far from the trees. A gazelle lowers its head to drink. In a single burst of speed, the leopard explodes from the cover, jaws closing before the prey can even cry out. But what makes leopards even more terrifying is what happens after the kill. Unlike lions or hyenas, who feed in groups and risk losing their meals to scavengers, leopards hoist their prey high into trees. A fully grown antelope, weighing more than the leopard itself, is dragged upward with raw strength. Hanging there, safe from hyenas, lions, and vultures, the leopard dines in peace under the cover of night. This secret of nature has given leopards a reputation as shadows, rarely seen, often misunderstood. In many parts of Kenya, entire villages know leopards stalk the outskirts, yet sightings are so fleeting they feel almost like myth. Farmers wake to find goats missing, tracks in the dust the only evidence of the night's visitor. But living in solitude comes with risk. A single wound, a failed hunt, or an encounter with a lion can mean disaster. Unlike a pride of lions or a troop of baboons, the leopard has no allies. Survival is a lonely game, and every mistake could be the last. Still, their mystery makes them one of the most respected predators in Africa. Because while lions roar and baboons scream, the leopard rules in silence, and silence can be far more terrifying. Yet even leopards must bow to a predator of the skies, one that hunts not with stealth or speed on the ground, but with eyes sharper than any mammal alive. While the ground teems with prowling predators, the sky hides killers just as fearsome. In Kenya, few can match the raw power of the African crowned eagle, a bird so deadly it has earned the title of leopard of the sky. From over 100 feet above, an eagle can spot the slightest flicker of movement. A rustle in the grass. A shadow breaking cover. Even the twitch of an ear is enough to trigger its attack. With eyesight nearly 8 times sharper than a human's, nothing escapes its gaze. But sight is only the beginning. When an eagle dives, gravity becomes its weapon. Folding its wings tight, it plummets with terrifying speed. Talons spread wide, each one as sharp as knives, designed not just to grab but to crush. In a split second, the force of impact can shatter bones. What's even more shocking is the prey they choose. While many birds settle for snakes, rodents, or fish, the crowned eagle targets monkeys, small antelope, and even young gazelles. Victims often never see their killer until it's too late, a blur of feathers, a violent strike, and silence. Unlike lions or leopards, who leave bloody trails across the savannah, eagles are efficient. They kill quickly, drag their prey into the trees, and feast where no scavenger can reach. This brutal efficiency makes them both admired and feared, symbols of freedom to some, omens of death to others. For baboons, leopards, and even human children in rural villages, the threat is real. Stories circulate of eagles swooping down without warning, carrying away goats or monkeys in their claws. Whether legend or truth, one thing is certain, anything small enough to be lifted can become prey. Yet even these rulers of the air face challenges. The rise of human settlements pushes them further into wild spaces, and the loss of trees limits their hunting grounds. Still, the crowned eagle adapts, as it always has, reigning not with numbers, but with precision. And as the eagle's shadow sweeps across the land, every creature below knows, danger doesn't just come from the grass, but from the sky above. But predators aren't the only ones shaping life in Kenya. Some animals survive not by hunting, but by uniting, creating massive herds where strength lies in numbers. For every predator on the African plains, there is prey fighting to survive. And while claws and fangs dominate the spotlight, the true masters of endurance may be the herds that seem, at first glance, defenseless. Take the zebra. To many, they look like nothing more than striped horses, graceful but vulnerable. Yet those stripes aren't just decoration. In the shimmering heat of the savannah, the black and white pattern creates an optical illusion. To a lion charging at full speed, a herd of zebras blurs into a dizzying wave of movement, making it harder to pick a single target. Confusion becomes their armor. Then there are wildebeests, often mocked as clumsy or foolish-looking. But underestimate them, and you'll miss their greatest weapon, unity. Every year, millions of wildebeests take part in the Great Migration, a journey so vast it can be seen from space. Moving as one, they cross rivers teeming with crocodiles and plains patrolled by lions. Individually, a wildebeest is easy prey. Together, they are unstoppable. Survival for these animals isn't about fighting back, it's about denying predators the chance to single them out. The herd becomes a shield, each individual's odds of being caught shrinking in the crowd. And when danger strikes, alarm calls ripple through the group, sending waves of movement that can scatter even the most determined hunter. But prey animals aren't just passive survivors. A zebra's kick can crush a lion's jaw. A wildebeest's horns can gore a careless cheetah. Even giraffes, with their towering legs, can deliver blows strong enough to kill. The savannah is filled with stories of predators who paid the ultimate price for underestimating their quarry. Yet for all their strategies, life for prey is a constant gamble. Every day means scanning the horizon, every drink at a river means risking an ambush. And still, against all odds, they endure, not because they are the strongest, but because they've mastered the art of survival in numbers. But survival in the wild isn't only a matter of strength or strategy. Sometimes, it comes down to cunning, creatures that live in the shadows, feeding not by hunting or grazing, but by stealing. When the sun sets over the plains, the night fills with an unsettling sound, a chilling laugh echoing through the darkness. To many, it's the voice of chaos. But behind that eerie call lies one of the savannah's most effective survivors, the hyena. Hyenas are often portrayed as scavengers, lurking on the edges of lion kills and stealing scraps. But the truth is far more impressive, and far more dangerous. These animals are skilled hunters in their own right. In fact, studies have shown that spotted hyenas make their own kills more often than they scavenge, taking down wildebeests, zebras, and even buffalo when they work together. And that teamwork is what makes them so deadly. Hyenas live in large clans ruled not by males, but by females. The matriarch leads with absolute authority, and beneath her, every rank is fiercely enforced. This matriarchal system gives hyenas an edge that few predators can match: unity. A coordinated pack can run their prey into exhaustion, snapping at heels until the victim collapses. Once it falls, the clan descends, tearing flesh with jaws so strong they can crush bone like dry sticks. That bone-crushing power is more than brutality. It's evolution at its finest. Hyenas are nature's recyclers, devouring everything from flesh to bone, leaving almost nothing behind. This makes them critical to the ecosystem, the cleaners of the savannah, preventing disease from spreading through rotting carcasses. But despite their importance, hyenas remain feared and despised. Their haunting calls, their fierce raids on livestock, and their constant rivalry with lions have cemented their reputation as villains of the wild. Battles between hyenas and lions are brutal and legendary, whole clans clashing against prides in wars over food and territory. Sometimes the lions win. Sometimes the hyenas overwhelm even Africa's so-called kings. Still, what makes hyenas truly remarkable isn't just their ferocity. It's their cunning. They plan, they strategize, and they adapt. They're not the dirty scavengers of old myths. They're survivors, forged by the harshest challenges of the savannah. And as the laughter of the clan fades into the night, one truth becomes clear: in the wild, reputation doesn't matter, survival does. But there's one more player in this eternal struggle, a predator that doesn't roar, laugh, or sneak. It stalks with silence, patience, and piercing eyes, striking from the rivers and lakes where others least expect it. While the grasslands echo with roars and laughter, the rivers of Kenya hide predators far older than lions or hyenas. Beneath the still surface, armored giants wait, crocodiles, relics of a prehistoric world that time has barely touched. For hours, sometimes days, a crocodile can lie motionless in the water, eyes just above the surface, body hidden beneath. To the animals that come to drink, the river seems calm, even safe. But in reality, they are stepping into a trap millions of years in the making. The strike comes without warning. With a sudden burst of speed, jaws snap shut with crushing force, stronger than any other bite in the animal kingdom. A zebra, wildebeest, or gazelle is dragged from the shallows into the depths, the desperate struggle ending in seconds. On land, predators must chase their prey. In the water, crocodiles simply wait. What makes them even more terrifying is their patience. While lions must hunt every few days, a crocodile can survive weeks, even months, without a meal. They feast in one violent explosion, then vanish again into silence, waiting for the next victim. This ability to endure starvation has allowed them to thrive for over 200 million years, unchanged and unmatched. The rivers become deadlier still during the Great Migration. Every year, countless wildebeests and zebras must cross crocodile-infested waters. For the herds, it's a desperate gamble, make it across and live, or hesitate and be dragged under. The water churns with panic, blood, and thrashing bodies as crocodiles claim their share of the season's bounty. Yet crocodiles aren't mindless killers. They are strategic. They know where herds will cross, positioning themselves in ambush zones that generations of reptiles have used before. This memory, this inherited instinct, ensures the rivers remain deadly year after year. For prey, there is no negotiation, no second chance. The crocodile doesn't roar to warn, doesn't stalk to scare. It waits. And in the wild, patience can be the most dangerous weapon of all. But even these ancient hunters share their world with another giant, one that doesn't rely on stealth, but sheer size and power. And when these two titans meet at the water's edge, the battles shake the rivers of Africa. At first glance, the hippo doesn't look like a predator at all. By day, they lounge in rivers and lakes, their massive bodies half submerged, eyes and nostrils just above the surface. They seem almost comical, yawning wide as if bored with the chaos of the savannah around them. But this illusion of calm is one of the deadliest deceptions in Africa. Beneath their sluggish appearance lies raw, explosive power. Hippos are built like armored tanks, weighing up to 4,000 pounds, yet capable of charging at speeds faster than a human can sprint. And when they open those enormous jaws, they reveal tusk-like teeth sharp enough to crush bone and pierce flesh with terrifying ease. Unlike crocodiles or lions, hippos don't hunt for food. They feed mostly on grass. But make no mistake, they are among the most dangerous animals in Africa, not because of hunger, but because of territory. Step too close to a hippo's water, and you've declared war. Boats have been overturned, crocodiles shredded, and even lions forced to retreat when a hippo decides to stand its ground. The battles between hippos and crocodiles are legendary. Despite the reptile's deadly jaws, it's often the crocodile that loses. A hippo's sheer size and brutal bite can crush even the toughest armored skin. For crocodiles, a clash with a hippo is a gamble few survive. But it isn't just crocodiles that face their wrath. Hippos are notoriously aggressive toward anything they see as a threat, including each other. Males fight savage duels for dominance, clashing with teeth and brute force until one is driven from the river. The wounds are horrific, the battles primal, and yet this violence is part of maintaining the fragile balance of their hierarchy. And still, for all their fury, hippos play a vital role in shaping the ecosystem. Their movements between land and water create trails and channels that other species depend on. Their dung enriches rivers, feeding fish and plants that sustain countless other animals. The hippo is a reminder that power doesn't always wear the face of a hunter. Sometimes, it's disguised in a grazer that no predator dares to underestimate. But while hippos dominate the rivers by day, the savannah tells a different story at night. For when darkness falls, the balance shifts once again, and the most surprising rivalries of the animal kingdom come to life.